Welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast. It's your boy BlueWestlo here with the one and only Robbie V. Today it is a Pal world. We just live in it. We talk a whole lot about Pal World, talk about our favorite designs, talk about our favorite pals, our least favorite pals, talk about things we like about the game, things we think should be improved.
Is
But
Pokemon
mostly we
taking it
talk
down?
about question mark? Probably not, but hey, we'll talk about it a little bit. And for the most part, we just talk about how much we love this game and how much this game really surprised us. Ultimately, yeah, we're cool with Palworld,
Yeah.
and we do talk about some of the controversy around it. So if you're like, "Whoa, guys, cringe," well, we'll talk about that as
Find out
well.
why we're cringe.
We talk about some of the Microsoft layoffs, which is actually just objectively cringe, and then we get into some Q&A. So if you like all that good stuff, stick around.
This episode of the GG Over Easy podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Around New Year's, we get obsessed with how to change ourselves instead of expanding on what we are already doing right. We immediately look at the negatives and how we can change that. Therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really do stick. My time with BetterHelp, they are nothing but professional. They listen to me. They help me learn some things about myself that I never even knew and learned a bunch of ways that I can learn how to cope and work through my mental health. BetterHelp is entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Celebrate the progress you've already made this year. Visit betterhelp.com/gg today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/gg. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this episode of the GG Over Easy podcast. Taking on a New Year's resolution is tough, especially if you have a thing like quitting soda or just hydrating more. That's where Liquid IV can help you reach your goal of hydration. Liquid IV is a convenience mixing powder and it's pre-measured packet that fits into a glass of water. A lot of people may be like, ew, I don't like to drink water because it tastes like nothing. Well, Liquid IV helps it taste delicious. Ranging from flavors from white peach, green grape, and lemon lime, the flavors are all delicious. Personally, my favorite is the white peach. It's easy. Just pour a glass of water, put in the Liquid IV, and all of a sudden your water is so delicious. It has 3 times the electrolytes of a leading sports drink. There's no artificial sweeteners and sugar, 8 vitamins and nutrients for everyday wellness, and non-GMO. Rehydrate yourself for the new year. Grab your Liquid IV hydration multiplier, sugar-free in bulk nationwide at Costco, or get 20% off your first order when you go to liquidiv.com and using the code GG at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code GG at liquidiv.com.
Fuck, start recording. All right.
All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast. Just want to say, in terms of the editing, I hear the comments. I've been reading them. We'll stick with the static for now. We do have some new overlays coming through. I have teased them a little bit in the Patreon Discord, and it's looking hot. So things will be changing again here soon. But for now, we'll just keep the little static kind of thing with Mr. Fruit on the bottom, sad and AFK. But
We'll be back soon,
exciting overlays coming though that I think will
yeah.
definitely be a little bit easier on the eyes than full cut cam cuts. Anyways, I think so. Last week we talked about, oh hey, like we're gonna try Palworld today after the podcast, and we'll come back with our review.
Oh my god, man.
I don't,
What?
dude. Like
Ugh.
it's been insane. Like first of all, just the discourse this game has had, like
Oh yeah, 100%.
just to kind of see like if you're on the Power World side or not on the Power World side. It's like I'm gonna be honest, Blue. Not for one second did I think this game would take over my life. Okay.
Oh, dude, no. I mean, I don't think anyone expected it to. I think a lot of people wanted to try it with with the hope of, hey, I really do want like a good looking Pokemon style monster catcher game, and this game took over my life. It's still I'm definitely, like, on the trying to, like, temper how much time I spend on it now because I've spent so much time on it,
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm talking, like, we spent, like I'm sure those of you who watch our content already know, like, all the time, we were, like for, like, 4 days, it was l wake up, log into Palworld, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. I mean, obviously, it's not a perfect game, you
No.
know, and and yeah, like a lot of the things that people are saying about it are very true because yeah, there's a lot of ripoffs, but there's also like a lot of heart in it that I think a lot of people are disregarding. But yeah, I mean, it's taken over my life. I think it's a genuinely good game that happens to have like a cool Pokemon, cool monster catching part of it. Like
Yeah.
the crazy part is like the Pokemon part of it is maybe like 20% of the game.
Yeah.
But like that 20% is really fun.
It
Like
it is.
and the other 80% is I mean it's basically arc, right? But
Yeah.
like the survival mechanics with the splash of Mons is just whew, chef's kiss. It's great.
Yeah. It's a blast, man. Like I, I can't really remember the last time I enjoyed a survival game this much. And to kind of compare, I played Enshrouded yesterday, another survival game that has just come out. And I felt immediately, like Power World's early game in a survival game, it like actually rewards you. Like I don't know, it feels fulfilling. Like the early part of like Power World, and which is what I really liked, and I really liked the linear progression. I love like the technology points. I love the fast traveling mechanic. Um, and like I have to say too, there are some pals. I'm not gonna give Power World all the credit in the world. There are some pals that are just ripoffs.
100%.
But there are
100%.
some dope OCs that I really like.
Yeah. I would say the OCs are the best ones, like the best looking ones. Like a lot of the ripoffs are like pretty blatant and they're not and because they're ripoffs, it doesn't really feel inspired,
Yeah,
but like damn, like when it's when the designs are good, they're actually great. Like Daydream, love them
yeah.
on.
The idea
Such a
of
sick and it's an original, design, so
yeah, and you like that bird. What's the bird called again? That
Ragnarok. If Ragnarok was
Ragnarok.
in Pokemon, it would be one of my favorite Pokemon.
It'd be a top tenner.
It would be a top tenner. Like it's genuinely really good. I was shocked at how I kind of went into the game not wanting to like it as well because
Me
I was like,
too.
oh
I don't know
great.
why.
I was like, oh great, a Pokemon ripoff. Like I've seen these before. I think I was kind of burned from Temtem,
Yeah,
which Temtem's a good game, but like it's like
very surface level. It's all about catching and like battling and stuff. It's very where Power World only relies on like 20 to 25% of like the Pokemon world. Temtem was like 95, 99%.
and that's cool. That would work if the designs were cool, but like my issue with Temtem is like most designs are just so lame. Like all respect to Temtem because I think they put a lot of work in to try and make a great game, but like God, the designs were just so boring. And like in this game, there's like they're not afraid to get goofy with it, like within reason. Like they have
Yeah,
like this one called Pen King. It's a literal pirate penguin,
yeah,
and he's sick. I love that dude. And then you have Ragnarok is amazing. Like yeah, there's like some like Verdash that is like a straight up Cinderace clone, and it's not even close. Like it's it's a 1-to-1. And then you have like a Sparkit, which is kind of like their attempt at a Pikachu clone,
yeah,
which is hilarious. You got like Wixen, which is straight up like Braxton Evo line, Fox. I forgot the name of them on. Fox.
Oh, like Spark Fox or something like that,
It's
or
Wixen, and it rips off the Braxton line. I don't know why I remember Braxton, but I can't remember the full Evo. But whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. But then you have like really cool original ones. You have Gamos, which is like this literal just blob of, and then it has like a cute little leaf hat.
mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, Daydream is dope. Oh yeah, and then Cremis is literally just Eevee.
Yeah.
It's literally just Eevee. But you have really cool original ones. You have like Ike Thirdeer, sick. I love that dude. You have Cognito.
Oh, Cognito is really cool. Cognito is one of my favorite designs.
Cognito is so dope. It's a witch doctor bird. It's so sick. You have Lee's Punk, which is super sick too.
Yeah, he wears a
Um,
hoodie. We like that. We like that he wears a hoodie.
we like that. And a lot of these aren't just like Pokemon inspired. Like a lot of these are very Monster Hunter inspired. Like you have Pyrans, the Kieran looking horses. Those dudes are so dope. Like Chilla
Yeah.
is sick. Vanworm is one of my favorites as well. And that dude's the homie. I love Vanworm. Um
Yeah, I caught a lucky one of those, and I still use them because it's sick.
One of my favorites is also one of the most original, which is King Paka. What a fucking
Yeah, King
cool
Paka is cool.
dude. He's so cool. He's literally a big fat alpaca with a crown. He's so cool. Yeah, and then I mean, yeah, I love and then Yormantide, probably one of the sickest.
Yep.
And
Like
yeah,
a
you got some
Gyarados
ripoffs.
looking ass thing.
Yeah, you got some ripoffs. Like Jet Dragon is like a Salamence Mega Latios mix, but I don't care because he looks sick.
Yeah.
So I, I think I think a lot of people discounted this game as soon as it came out, but then like it comes out to be like a genuinely good game, and it's just
Now,
surprising.
Now, you think everybody would be excited about a good game, but I don't think I've seen a more polarizing game come out. That was literally like you're either on the I really like Power World and I'm having fun playing, or like I fucking hate Power World and I'm gonna spread a bunch of disinformation that they use AI to make their shit. It was literally like both sides were just yelling at each other. It was like, I'm having fun. It's like, no, it's used by AI. Look at the comments by the CEO, which I believe has been debunked that Power World has no AI, I believe, Blue, or you said something on the lines of that?
So the AI discourse hasn't officially been debunked, but it's also like the accusation has also not been founded, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cuz and the reality is like they showed off a lot of these designs in a trailer like 3 years ago. And so this game's been in development for a long time. A lot of these designs have already been set in stone. So to say, 3, 4 years ago, AI was not nearly as robust as it is now. AI wasn't even as robust as it is now, like a year ago. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they couldn't even get hands right a year ago. So, um, I mean, I think like if you put any amount of brain power into it, you could pretty much see that like these designs were clearly not developed with AI solely. And if there were AI, it's like why would they need it when a lot of these are kind of just straight ripoffs? Like they just kind of like remix it on their own. But you can tell there's a lot of artistic integrity in a lot of these because like a lot of these, there's a lot of heart and soul in them.
Well, I mean, speaking
Um,
of heart and soul, there's literally an article I have here. It says Power World has struggled to find a dev with shooter experience in Japan before stumbling upon a self-taught hobbyist who worked at a convenience store. And now this guy who like worked on all the gun, the reloading, and all that kind of stuff is literally now working on the biggest game potentially in the world. At the moment,
right now, yeah. I mean, yeah.
which is something I did not believe that this game would shatter some records, which is
Oh,
crazy.
100%. It's crazy.
Let me
It
see
just
if I
goes to
can.
show how much people want a good Pokemon game on PC and like want like a modern Pokemon game. So
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's
Power
crazy.
World. continues to grow in popularity. In the past 24 hours, this article is written on January 23rd. Its peak concurrent players reached 1.8 million players, the second highest of any Steam game ever. Bro, it passed CS:GO. Like,
Yeah, it's
that's
crazy.
fucking insane. It made
It's
CS:GO
crazy.
Twitter tweet. You know what I mean? Like, it made the CS:GO Twitter account like go like, because I think Onepixel was like, maybe next update we need to have sex, and the CS account was like, shit, like maybe we do. It,
Shit.
it,
Like, hey,
it's just like the absolute going into this game. I did not think it would take the gaming world by storm, not
no,
even
no,
for a fucking second.
nope, nope,
I
not even
thought this
close.
would be your typical hot flash in the pan for 3 to 4 days, and then it falls off, which, it very may well. But for somebody who has played, I see my playtime here is 62 hours. I think that's a little inflated because I think I might have left it on in the menu. I think it's more around like 52, 53, somewhere around there. I still feel like I'm not very like done. You know what I mean? Maybe like 65 to 70%. But what I really like is like when you get into kind of the late game stuff, the grind really slows down. And then like your levels really start to feel like, oh, that like took a lot to get and stuff. And it just feels fun. Like it feels fulfilling. Like I love the exploration and like how much shit there is around the world. Like sure, they may just be a bigger version, boss version of the pals that you see around, but God, it's fun just kind of flying around finding little squirrel things. Like it's just a blast. Like I did not expect me to like it this much.
A lot of the actually, before I continue going on,
Yeah.
as far as like the accusations go, obviously, yeah, the CEO has some not great opinions on AI,
Yeah.
but I mean,
What CEO doesn't?
unfortunately, yeah, for me, it's like what CEO doesn't. If I didn't want to play a game, like if I chose not to play a game because the CEO was a shithead, like I wouldn't be playing any games. Unfortunately, it's like what CEO isn't a shithead? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
be outspoken about how shithead the CEO is, but like unfortunately, like that's like I can't really do anything about that.
Yeah. Like, sorry, dog,
You
I'm
know what
gonna
I
play
mean?
it.
And it's not like a marginalized community is like, hey guys, can we not play this game? It's just kind of like, yeah, no one really likes AI, but like, what do
Meanwhile,
like
everyone
how
else
do
is playing the
we?
finals. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
tough, but I mean, yeah, just be like, hey, we don't like AI, and speak with your wall in the way that like when very clearly AI developed games come out, at that point it's like, all right, let's not put money into that. But when you have a game like this that is, and as far as like stealing designs, I mean, yeah, that one's pretty true. Like I got nothing for that. Like there's a lot of these are pretty stolen from Mons, and I think it's intentional to like have a level of familiarity for people coming into the game. I think for me, my thing is like they did steal a lot of the base designs, but it's like seeing a lot of like how good a lot of these designs are. It's like they really didn't need to.
yeah.
So that's definitely a criticism of mine. A lot of the weakest ones are obviously the stolen ones. So,
Mm-hmm. Totally. But
but
like, I think what you said, the OCs and like kind of like how how you can tell like heart was put into those kind of like they
yeah,
offset each other. You know what I mean? Like,
and again, like the Mon aspect is only like 20% of the game. Like the other
mm-hmm.
80% is like an Arc Breath of the Wild love child.
Yeah.
Like it's the world is curated and you have a lot of quality of life and movement from like games like Zelda where you have the glider that has become so normalized in games now. You have
Yeah.
you have the world that has all these spawns and like things to do. Um the combat is very like surface level, but like because you have your homies with you, it becomes fun. Because you have your mons with you, it becomes fun. Your pals,
Pow, pals, pals, pals,
um,
pals.
yeah, your pals. You have like these little mini raid bosses that you go fight around that are like big alpha versions of of the pals you can catch around the area. Um, everything you do gives you resources you need to make more things, and it's just really fun. Um, You have like these little dungeons that are procedurally generated to a degree. They're pretty limited in how they procedurally generate. I was a little disappointed in that, but like you have a lot of different things you can do and like approach things. Like I've spent most of the game like building up my base and just
Yeah.
going around leveling. And so now I'm at the point like, damn, like I should just go like run around and like, beat the shit out of bosses, beat the shit out of dungeons.
Yep.
And like you have the inverse where it's like fruit. Like fruit was like balls to the wall. I'm a combat boy. Like I'm gonna go beat up a bunch of bosses. I'm gonna go beat up a bunch of dungeons. And now you have people like fruit being like, all right, well now let's focus on the base for a little while.
Yep.
And it's I don't know, it's just a different way to play the game, and I think it's a different flavor on the monster catching genre that we've needed for a long time. And I think it also just shows it's crazy that the Pokemon company of all people had to make a statement
I have that statement
basically
right here,
saying,
actually.
all right, hit us with it, hit us with it.
It says we have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. We have not granted any permission for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts of infringe or intellectual property rights related to Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon and its world, and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future. So basically saying nothing but saying a whole lot in the sense that like, yeah, like we didn't give them anything, but we're looking at them. And to get the attention of, one of the biggest intellectual properties ever, says something, I hope for my Pokemon friends out there, because like I would play a Pokemon game like this, you know what I mean? Like something that like feels fresh and fun, like you said, like it just shows the kind of want and need that PC gamers want for some sort of like Pokemon game on
Yeah.
PC. But like you said, it's not even like focused around the Pokemon, it's the base building, it's the exploration. And then catching pals is maybe 20 to 25% of that actual like formula. And they all just pick each other up. Now, that's not saying the pals are perfect. Sometimes your pals don't want to work and they're stupid and their pathing is really
The
dumb.
AI is definitely my biggest like gameplay criticism is the AI is really dumb, and in servers it's so laggy that like the AI gets even dumber. You know what I mean? Like it takes a long
Yeah.
time for the AI to register things. But I
Um,
mean they have said they're working on that. But yeah, like it's not perfect. But like the core gameplay is exactly what a lot of people have been wanting for a like a PC game and a modern generation game at that for a long
yeah.
time.
And it's just kind of like, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. You know what I mean? I think Pokemon
Oh,
falls in that
100%.
thing. Like it takes itself so seriously. And in this one, you get a little green monkey that has an AK that like you can shoot while it's on your back. You know what I mean? And it's just being able to do like wacky fun stuff like that. It's just really, really cool. I did not think I was gonna love this game, but I have people like texting me about it, like, "Hey, is like Palworld like actually worth it and fun? Like, or is it like one of those gimmick games that like we'll play for a little bit?" And I'm like, "No, if you genuinely like enjoy the aspect of Pokemon, but like are more
Yeah,
into Valheim
please.
survival type games, like
100%, yeah.
play it more if you're into those kind of survival Valheim type games, rather than I'm more into Pokemon. Like, I think this game does a better job at the survival aspect, but while also giving you a fun kind of side kind of thing with pals and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%.
I just am having a lot of fun with it. Like, I woke up today, I was like, I'm gonna podcast, edit that podcast, and play the fuck out of Palworld.
Let's go, baby.
Because there are some things like because my grind has slowed down, so now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, now I gotta go walk around and kill all the bosses and get some sort of XP and complete my pal decks or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the PAL deck.
It I can't say anything else like that's like negative about the game really, other than stability on the server, which is not really on the game, like the game
No, that's
devs.
definitely the game. That's definitely
Oh
the game.
really, you think?
No. I mean, the server crashing and stuff is like I mean,
That's
obviously
like
that's the
server hosting
provider.
more so, right?
But like the like the game being absolutely laggy as shit in multiplayer. That's all dev.
No, really, I thought that was more so on the server
Oh no,
people
that's all
then.
dev. They've acknowledged it. They've said like, I mean, like there is no server where like like that delay
Yeah.
is just a server. Like the crashes and stuff, like that's all game. I mean, that's all server hosts. But like, yeah, the lagginess of the game in multiplayer, the game getting more and more laggy as there's more players. That's all. Yeah, that's all the game devs. So, but I mean, they're
Um
working on it though.
so Palworld this morning did peak at 2,000,000
Jeez, man.
30,000. So it just eclipsed its highest all-time peak about 6 hours ago.
On a Friday morning, and it's a Friday night coming up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think today you'll
I
see around
whew,
like 2.2, 2.3. I don't know if they'll catch PUBG
I don't think
because
so.
for anybody that doesn't know, unknown.
PUBG is pretty up there. I think there were upwards of 3 million concurrent players at one point. It just goes to show how massive PUBG globally was at one point, and I mean still
3.2
is.
million. 3.2
Yeah,
million.
yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize how massively popular PUBG was overall. Obviously here in America it was big, but like globally, PUBG has this impact that, especially in China, still PUBG has this massive, massive, massive dedicated following that is just huge. So I don't think it'll catch PUBG. I think that's a big ask, but I think what's crazy is like those Steam numbers don't even take into account like the Game Pass players,
Yep, which is probably even
So
more or around probably the same
I don't
number.
think so. I do think this. I do think Steam is definitely like the vast majority of people playing Palworld, but I definitely think there's quite a bit of people who we don't know about. That obviously Xbox isn't going to talk about
Yeah.
playing it on through Game Pass. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy seeing how big this game has gotten. And it also, in a strange way, Pokemon stands don't come for me because I am a Pokemon stan. It makes
Yep.
me really happy because a lot of people have tried to make like these monster catching games, and pretty much all of them have either been just really niche or just don't end up being
Yeah.
particularly successful. And so seeing this game really take the world by storm is like awesome. Like that's amazing. Like I want competition, and this is probably the first time I've seen like a monster catching game have the potential to have longevity, to stay around, to have like cultural relevance, and
Yeah.
to exist in the same space that Pokemon has existed in, basically uncontested for 25 years now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, the
So
only time you've ever
more
seen
than that.
Pokemon kind of sweat was what, Yu-Gi-Oh? Not even sweat with Yu-Gi-Oh or Digimon, but like, kind of something that got on the same kind of level as them. Question for you. Do you think we'll ever see Power World TCGs?
I was thinking about that. I would love that. If Palworld continues to stay as popular as it does, over the next couple months, which obviously it's going to wax and wane, like it's not going to, you're not going to
No,
have
yeah.
2 million concurrent players every day,
Yeah.
but down the content line, if they're like, ooh, like we got this expansion coming out, like I'm back.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
back into Palworld. Like I am locked into Palworld, and I think that's what most people playing this game feel is like okay, like when I'm done with this, I know I'm done with it, but like I'm genuinely looking forward to what gets put out,
Yeah.
and
I was
I'm sticking with it, and I want to see what they do, and I'm locked in.
Yeah, I was really worried about getting like, because I was noticing, I was like, damn, okay, 50 hours in and I'm already kind of like 34, 35. I was like, I was kind of worried about hitting 50 a little too soon. And then I like that point, it's like, okay, like now what do you kind of do? But like I said, the grind slows down. So, you're forced to play a little bit more, and, monkey see little XP number bar go up. I love that.
Uh-huh, 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 yep,
Um,
yep.
and I love how like the skill points are used. I love, again, technology points are really cool. Just how like, for me, survival games, I always get harped on like the base building and the crafting. I always get kind of lost in that kind of spot. Dude, Palworld has introduced one of the greatest mechanics, I think, to
Oh,
survival games
the
I have ever seen.
the best quality of life mechanic I have seen in the survival games since survival games have been thought of.
Yeah, and Enshrouded didn't have this yesterday, and it was infuriating. So in survival games with crafting, normally you have to like pick up your ore and then take it to the smelting thing, and then place your ore from your inventory to the thing. Powell said, "Nah, if it's in your chest in your little blue circle of your PAL base, guess what? We'll pull it from that." Which is just like
Oh,
that little quality of change. It doesn't sound like much, it's huge, and it just makes the crafting just a little bit more seamless.
so much better.
Yeah,
I better see that in every
agreed.
single survival game going forward. Because if I don't, I'm gonna be like, "Ooh, didn't do that.
Yeah,
Ugh,
it's almost like the
cringe."
Apex ping system. When first saw like the
Yes,
Apex ping
yes, yes,
system, and I was
100%.
like, okay, every FPS just needs to have this now. And guess
Yeah,
what?
if you
Every
guys don't,
FPS has that now.
yep, that's right. And it's like, fuck yeah, that's what I want to see. I
Yeah,
better see that shit all the time.
I agree. Like, this episode of the GG Over Easy podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Around New Year's, we get obsessed with how to change ourselves instead of expanding on what we are already doing right. We immediately look at the negatives and how we can change that. Therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really do stick. My time with BetterHelp, they are nothing but professional. They listen to me. They help me learn some things about myself that I never even knew, and learned a bunch of ways that I can learn how to cope and work through my mental health. BetterHelp is entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Celebrate the progress you've already made this year. Visit betterhelp.com/GG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GG. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this episode of the GG Over Easy podcast. Taking on a New Year's resolution is tough, especially if you have a thing like quitting soda or just hydrating more. That's where Liquid IV can help you reach your goal of hydration. Liquid IV is a convenience mixing powder, and it's pre-measured packet that fits into a glass of water. A lot of people may be like, ew, I don't like to drink water because it tastes like nothing. Well, Liquid IV helps it taste delicious. Ranging from flavors from white peach, green grape, and lemon lime, the flavors are all delicious. Personally, my favorite is the white peach. It's easy. Just pour a glass of water, put in the Liquid IV, and all of a sudden your water is so delicious. It has 3 times the electrolytes of a leading sports drink. There's no artificial sweeteners and sugar, 8 vitamins and nutrients for everyday wellness, and non-GMO. Rehydrate yourself for the new year. Grab your Liquid IV hydration multiplier, sugar-free in bulk nationwide at Costco, or get 20% off your first order when you go to liquidiv.com and using the code GG at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code GG at liquidiv.com. And that's
It's so
why I
good.
think like Palworld does survival games better than other survival games. And I don't know if it does, because, and this is like, again, a server issue and type of thing, and I feel like as the game goes on later, I rarely see pals. I think that's another gripe I have with the game.
Yeah,
You kind of have to
100%
sit in one area. Like when I first
for a little
started,
bit.
I found a lot of a lot of luckies. Like I was finding luckies, but now I feel like, and for those wondering, a lucky is kind of their interpretation of a shiny, if you will. But it's not colored any different. It's just bigger and has like a stat boost, essentially, but can also still have bad stats, which is also like another deep layered kind of thinking that you can like breed these pals, and these pals have like different sorts of like stats, or like different boosts or negative boosts, or I forget what the word I'm looking for there is.
Just
It's
negatives, cons,
yeah,
debuffs.
yeah, debuff is what I'm looking for. Yeah, it just has like some are really good and then some are really bad. So it's like, oh my god, I caught this lucky Van Worm, but it has brittle. And then that's like another layer to the breeding in this game where it's like, okay, if I want to make the perfect pal, I'm gonna go catch a direwolf that has swift, so it runs faster when I mount it, and ferocious. Okay, I have these two. Let me breed it, and hopefully I make a direwolf. There is literally like something for everyone, and it's just really
100%.
fun and really cool. And if you've been waiting to play it, please play it. Like it is a genuine fun game. I will ask you this, Blue. Are you having more fun with this than you did with Arceus?
I will say I think this game scratches an itch that I've been waiting for from Pokemon, but I can't say it's like I can't say it's like as good of a game as like the core gameplay of like Arceus and Scarlet Violet for me,
Mm-hmm.
but that's like the pro and con of like playing this, right? Like cuz like this is a fully completed game. Like yeah, the server issues are really bad, but
They
I
probably never
don't
anticipated having 2 to 3 million people playing it.
yeah, but like I'm playing with my friends, we're having a good time on a server and it's working versus with Scarlet and Arceus, like I'm like the game's already near unplayable just playing the game because I mean the game is like not optimized even remotely. So it's like this game performs well. The server issues struggle for sure, but like this game performs really well. And I don't think it's quite as good as of a core game as those games, but like it brings so many new ideas and a combat style that isn't like a turn based that I've been waiting for from a Pokemon game that I kind of got like a nice remix on in Arceus. And we kind of went back to in Scarlet Violet, which, got a little boring, but
Yeah,
it's just this game brings a lot of new ideas to a game. And I think they can coexist in a world that can allow each other to grow and like compete. And I would say Arceus is still like my preferred game
mm-hmm.
because I feel a lot more close to the Mons, but in this game, getting to just have saddles and like catch a Mon and be like, oh, I could ride this Mon that I just caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whereas like in Pokemon games, I can't do that. In Pokemon games, it's like you got to whistle for this bird, but
yeah.
it's
It's like
like
you don't get to ride Pidgeotto. You get to ride what they tell you to ride,
yeah,
type of
exactly.
thing.
You get to ride only the specific thing they tell you to ride. And like in this game, it's like there's like a connection I have to my pals that I don't have in Pokemon, and vice versa. Like in Pokemon, I have a connection to my Pokemon I don't have in this game.
Yeah,
And I like turn-based, games, but like I've been waiting for something that is a not turn-based monster catching game that really just like goes all in. And this is like just scratching the itch I've been waiting for that I knew Pokemon would have never done without this type of game coming out. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So maybe Pokemon is like, damn, all right, we
We
should
hear you. Fuck, I
let's make
guess.
a
Like,
let's make a more ambitious spin-off next time, hopefully.
because let me
So
tell you. Let
yeah,
me ask you this, Blue. If Pokemon announced something that was like in this kind of vein, like obviously take out the guns and all the stuff that Pokemon obviously would never do, but they
I would
added some sort of
cream.
survive like, but just think how many people would play it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
exactly. And
they
it's
have to see that now.
I hope they do because it's obvious that there is a huge huge want and need for them to be more ambitious with the genres of Pokemon that they make cuz for a long time it's just been turn based. And so that's my biggest like hope is they see wow, like people want something that we haven't really done yet. Like we should like this is our chance to really like make something new that we
Yeah,
haven't made before. And so I hope they see that like yeah, there's obviously a market for people who want like a Pokemon game that's not just turn based. I'm one of them, and this is why this game has like really really grabbed me so much. So
yeah. For me, like if I was to rate this game out of a 10, first of all, this game will be up for Game of the Year, like for sure. Will it win it? I don't know. I'd have to see what's coming out this year, type of thing. but like I think this has to be already one of the games of the year. Definitely one of like the most community like kind of games where you play with your buds and just have fun type of game. Um, there is a little lull in the crafting part where you kind of come into coal and stuff like that, and where coal is kind of, you know, a good material for like 5 levels, and then all of a sudden you don't use it anymore. So I do feel like there is some sort of parts in the crafting and the progression that they kind of got lost in the middle of, but everything else excuses that. And then, like I said, too, server issues. You know, I never thought. I'm sure the devs never thought that the game would get this big. So
100%.
hopefully,
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully, we get some sort of server updates or server quality of life changes. But god damn it, man, I love this game.
It's a
I'd
great game,
probably
man.
give it like an 8.8 to 9 out of 10. Honestly, probably somewhere around there.
It's just a great game. Like
Yeah,
it's
like
genuinely just a really good game. And it really had no right being as good as it is, but here we are.
yeah, and like going into like the stream last Friday, like if you like listen to last week's podcast, you know, we're like, I was expecting, you know, almost like a Lethal Company, Among Us type of thing where it's like we have fun for like a
Yeah,
little
it's like
bit.
here and gone.
Yeah, but not like shit, bro. We have 10 people on the server and we can't like exceed it. And it's like everybody wants to play. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I can't remember the last time all the homies like wanted to like play
Yeah, we were
something.
just in it. I
And
can't
like I'm
remember the
still
last
in
time
it.
we were
Like
this hard in.
I'm telling
Oh,
you,
100%.
I'm gonna shower and then I'm streaming this. Like
Same. Same.
it's just
My plan for today is finish this podcast, probably export this and send it out and then take a shower, poop, um and then play Palworld until I go to the gym later tonight cuz I
yeah.
already woke up so late I couldn't go to the gym this morning cuz I've been playing way too much Palworld.
Yeah, and you like I think you're the highest level on our server, right? I don't think Bryce has caught you.
I'm co- Oh no, I'm coming up on 43, baby.
Damn. Also, I think okay, we're gonna say okay before we end this, we'll say our least favorite pals and our favorite pals. Okay.
Okay, this is
Um,
easy. Yeah.
and I like and this whole time in the editing, I'm gonna be putting up the pals that we've talked about, so people have to go and look them up and shit. They're just gonna be like in the Pokemon pal pod we
Yeah.
had
We
years
got
ago.
you. We got you,
Yeah, we got you guys.
visual watchers.
My favorite pal design is that dragon you caught. I don't know what his name is, and I forgot, but it looks like a
Oh,
flying
Astagon.
Astagon, dude. That
Woo!
thing is
Heat.
fucking sick.
Heat.
Like that was like
Absolute
one of
heat.
like the first pals that I saw, and I was like,
Yeah,
and
he's
then this is another
way
thing
to
I love
go.
that Palworld do, and I don't know why the Pokemon Company is so afraid of it. I love that the scale of these pals are fucking massive compared to me.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
It's so different when you see Groudon when you're playing like whatever on your 3DS or whatever, and you see Rayquaza, okay? And Rayquaza, you know, looks a little bigger in the sprite form and stuff, but he's not like ginormous. You know what I mean? Like, how cool would it be to catch or like see Rayquaza and he's taking up 80% of your screen type of thing? Like, that's what I love one of the most about Power Worlds.
The true to scale is definitely one of the best parts of the game because they're
Love
unafraid.
that.
To to slight detriment sometimes because like some of my pals I can't put on the base, but
Yeah.
also that's kind of like kind of the charm of like, hey, like some of these dudes are legendary beasts. Maybe they're
Meant
not
to
the type
like
of
help your
mons you just have
base. Yeah.
farming. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, the scale is one of the biggest things that they kind of started getting a little closer to in Arceus and Scarlet Violet, but they
Hmm.
definitely weren't like. I think in Scarlet Violet they're pretty much there, but like this game is just unafraid to just let it all be just comically large if need be. So,
Who's your favorite pal?
well, I can tell you my least favorite.
Okay, then who are
Um,
your least favorite?
my least favorite is definitely that stupid Verdash. It's literally just a grass Cinderace clone, and it's not even close. Like it's not even. There is no debate to be had. That thing is a straight up Cinderace rip off clone, and it looks stupid. I already hated Cinderace design, so I hate this thing. That was easy L. My favorite is probably between um it's tough because I think my favorite I have two favorites. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
My two favorites are Ragnarok. I love Ragnarok. Like I said, if Ragnarok was in the game, was in Pokemon, it would be one of my favorite Pokemon. He's just so sick. He's just this big fiery bird. Like when I see Ragnarok, I'm like, it's like that meme. Like we have Ragnarok at home, and
Yeah.
then Ragnarok at home is like Talonflame. Like Ragnarok is so sick.
The
Um,
one at home is Talonflame.
the one at home is Talonflame, the Pokemon. Like, and yeah, Ragnarok is just amazing. And I've at first when I saw Jet Dragon, that was one of those like promotional mons or promotional pals. I was like, oh, this game's gonna be just a rip off, isn't it? But like I've come to like really see Jet Dragon and be like, dude, like he's
I
he's honestly cooler
he's
than the
really cool.
inspirations. He's
I
honestly
agree.
cooler than the
He's
inspirations.
like it's like Homelander. He's like, I'm the upgrade. You know, like
Yeah, like I love Latios and I love Salamence, and you mix them together to make like this tech, you know, dragon. And like I've really come to be like, damn, I think I like Jet Dragon more than those two. Like it's and 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 Jet Dragon's like one of those remixes that is like just unique enough that you can't really say is a ripoff. And
yeah,
that's how a lot of these things go, because like a lot of them like, oh, it's a Pokemon ripoff, and it's like, how many variants of a sheep can you make? Like
yeah,
like it's a sheep pal. What do you want them to not like like, oh, it's a cat pal. Like how many different variations of a cat do you want them to make? Like some stuff like Verdash is obvious, but like other stuff is like, dude, like it's supposed to be a sheep. Like it's gonna look like a sheep. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I think my least favorite pal, I actually caught a lucky version of this. Of course I did. The
oh,
Toko Toko, I think they're called.
uh,
The little running exploding birds.
you have
It's
two cannon at
don't
home.
get me wrong.
Two cannon at home.
Yeah, basically. Like I like the design. It's kind of an Aztec looking rooster, if you will, toucan type of thing. But the pal is fucking useless, man. It just runs at you and explodes. It just does self-destruct. And I caught one and I was like, oh cool, I'll just put like the lucky one on my base. It has like harvesting 2 or something, whatever. And I put it in there and I get raided. Bro, I literally watched this dude just run, and like the server's so laggy, when it explodes, it basically just explodes by itself, and then now it's incapacitated, major injury, depressed, and now it's dead, and it didn't even like hurt anybody in the raid other
That's
than
my
itself.
goat.
That bird is dumb. I hate that fucking thing. So I don't more so hate it for the design or anything. I more so just hate it because of what it is.
Oh, that's so fucking funny, man.
But if I also did have another favorite pal, Cognito.
Dude,
The design
Cognito's
behind Cognito,
so good.
hard. Like it's like a plague doctor type of thing, and they keep like a hat on him too. Fire, love that.
Yeah, they cooked hard with
I also really
Cognito.
like Robin Quill. Like Robin Quill is a really cool pal.
Now see, that's where I'm like, okay, now this is a ripoff.
Oh, okay.
With Guard
See, like I'm not a
with
Pokemon guy. Who's
so if,
Robin Quill
with
ripping off?
Galad, it's pretty hard ripoff of Galad. If you look up Galad,
Oh,
Gallade,
Galadade, right? It's like it
yeah,
has like 2 forms, right? A dress form and
yeah.
then like
Oh no, not Galad. The Robin Quill is a pretty hard ripoff of Decidueye. That's my bad.
Oh, the owl,
Yep,
right?
yep. Very blatant. We'll say inspiration, but
Yeah.
it's like let's be real, like,
Oh, I
it's still
do love
cool.
Warsect too. Warsect is really
Oh
cool.
my god, yeah, Warsect is great. Warsect is
Well,
one of those that's just like it's Warsect is him.
I like Hell Zephyr too. Hell Zephyr is really cool. One of the ones I do hate because it's a blatant ripoff is Anubis. He's just like Egyptian Lucario, pretty much.
Anubis is perhaps the most blatant in the game. It's just, hey guys, I'm not Lucario. And it's like, come on, man.
You think
Like, come
that
on.
one's worse than the Cinderace or whatever one? They're pretty bad.
Um,
They're both pretty bad. Like,
I do think I don't know. They're both really bad. I think Anubis is probably the most like one to one. And if there's a mon that they could get sued for it, it would be Anubis.
Mm-hmm.
Full stop. That, in my opinion, I think that's one of those that's like, yep. If y'all get sued, it's because of Anubis. Like,
Yeah. What would you give your rating on the game before we wrap up? While we wrap up on Palworld.
I gotta give like I genuinely like I'm
This is taking you
this
away
is
from Final Fantasy, which is saying a lot. You know,
which is saying a lot. Yeah, 100%. This is a genuine 8 out of 10 game for me. Like
hell yeah.
it's a
And you
genuinely
don't just
good
hand out 8 out
game.
of 10s.
No, like this is, dare I say, 8.5. Like it's a really genuinely good game. A lot of the rip off parts of the game definitely take parts away from it, and like the lag in multiplayer is definitely like a big reason why I can't rate it higher. But like the survival quality of life, like a lot of these like going into battle with your mons and fighting other big boys is so sick. Going on raiding parties with your buds and just going and catching a bunch of big raid bosses you wouldn't be able to do on your own is so special and so cool in a way that I haven't been able to feel from Pokemon, but I've been wanting to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's if I think if they just stuck with making their own cool designs, this would have been an even better game because I think the worst designs are the ones that they took, a lot of, they basically
Inspiration,
ripped
if you
off.
will. Yeah.
I think those are the worst designs, and like the best designs are the ones that I know obviously don't exist in Pokemon. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I this is a solid 8.5 for me. Like it's a genuinely good game.
That's awesome. Um,
What about you, Rob?
us
What are you rating this?
like 9, like a easy 9. If server capabilities were better and it wasn't
Yeah.
like server dropping frames, and like you said, if there was more OC, because I think the OC in the game is way better
Oh,
than
yeah.
those little
Yeah.
rip-offs, because
100%.
then you also wouldn't have that discourse, like with, oh, this
Oh
game's only
yeah.
good because
Oh
it
yeah.
rips off Pokemon, where in
Yeah.
like reality it's like, okay, I don't think you've played the game then, because I think anybody that has that kind of idea, like, oh Power World's only successful because it ripped off Pokemon, it's like, you've obviously haven't played the game then.
Yeah, you obviously haven't because there's so much love and care put into this
Yeah,
game.
because I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan, I'm not, but I continuously want to keep coming back because of the level progression, the base progression, the PAL progression, everything, the crafting progression. It's just
Yep.
fun. Like, there's something about putting on a Gatling gun on your Jet Lago that just you can't beat. Like it, and it doesn't take
100.
itself too seriously. It's just a great game. I love it. Go play it.
It's a genuinely really good game, and if you were on the fence about playing it because it's like a straight rip off, if there's anything ripped off, it's maybe like 5% of the game that is
Yeah,
like, and yeah, they are big sore spots, but like most of this game
yeah,
is a love child of Arc and Pokemon in its own way, and it does a lot of things to elevate itself from other survival games. So it's I would give it a shot. If you like
yeah.
survival games and you
You
liked
have to.
games like Arc, but you hated how jank Arc was, definitely give this a try. If you like Pokemon but wish Pokemon was like in a different setting and wasn't just an RPG game, a turn-based, oftentimes slow game, and you want something that's a little more dynamic in combat, then this is, definitely give it a shot. It's genuinely worth trying. It's free on Game Pass. So, and if you don't like it, hey, that's what Game Pass is for. And if you're on Steam, well, you got 2 hours to refund it. So,
Yeah. Honorable mention for my favorite pal, because I don't know their names because we went to there once and we ran away because they were killing us.
oh yeah,
The Paladin Bros or whatever. I don't know what their
yeah,
names are. They're sick looking.
pal, 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 whatever, and then like that Necro dude,
Pal, I'ma
like,
fuck you up. That's what his name was. Because
they're pretty cool. Those two are definitely more Digimon inspired.
yeah, and that's what I also like. Like, the game is challenging. Like the game is challenging and I like raiding with my friends. Like, and when we were going from boss to boss and getting all those like catches and stuff like that, I wasn't even salty that I didn't get a catch because I was
It
happy
was
that
just
my
fun
boys
being
got a
with my
catch.
yeah, we were
That it
just
was like,
we're like 10 levels under these like big ass mons that would kill us 1v1, but like we're in like a 8-player raiding party, like we're going to catch you, dude. Like maybe we can't do it on our own, but there's 8 of us level 35 to 40 and you're level 50. We're going to catch you, big guy.
yeah.
Like
And what I really like too is like you have like a 6%. It shows you like the percentages of what like your catch rate would be, which I really like too. Because when you catch something, you're like, oh my god, that was a 2% chance. It makes the catch like even that much more hype and exciting and fun and memorable. Which I think like you lose out on Pokemon. Because man, this game has like so many memorable moments for me already. Switching on over to some tougher news. Something we've been covering a lot on the podcast lately. There have been more gaming layoffs in the gaming industry, unfortunately. Microsoft laid off more than 1,900 Activision, Blizzard, and Xbox employees. Blizzard president Mike Ybarra has also decided to leave, and Blizzard's survival game has been canceled, which was really big news that Christian was very upset about. One of their there's an article written yesterday that said Blizzard today canceled their survival game Odyssey and laid off almost its entire team. It was in development for more than 6 years and by all accounts very fun, but was still years away from release. Why? Because of Synapse, the engine behind the game. So it seems a lot of things are on fire over at Blizzard and Activision / Microsoft in the gaming division, at least. And unfortunately, this is going to kind of tie into what we talked about yesterday or last podcast with the Ubisoft CEO talking about streaming games and renting games, if you will. I believe Xbox laid off their entire physical department of games.
God, man.
Which Versus really brought up a good point yesterday that really worries him because do we really like, and we talked about this, but do we really own our games? Like if you go to like a library, that's where books are stored and stuff like that. That's what he kind of said. And it's like, where are games stored if we don't own it? You know what I mean? Like, is it just like, do we physically own it? If it's just a very interesting, weird time. IMO.
It's tough because, like these are some of the most like profitable years we've ever had in gaming, and the workers who make it up are continually treated like shit.
Yep. And
And
treated
it's
as the
like,
bottom line.
Microsoft just bought Activision Blizzard for a multi-billion-dollar deal, and not even a couple months later is like, oh, layoffs. And it's like, why? Like, why? Why are we having layoffs when we're having the most profitable years for these companies? And like, also, like it's really simple. Like, the bottom line of how much money they make is a lot more important than anything else to them, and it's really disappointing, and it just sucks, and it just sucks ass. Like, there's really
Yeah.
no way around it, and it's like I hope there's like a fever pitch moment where the devs are like, these CEOs are forced to realize, wow, we don't have these companies without the people who make these games. Like, you don't have like these, like, what the fuck are these CEOs doing? They're doing fuck all. and and it's just frustrating, and there's
Yeah.
like, from the outside looking in, like, what do I do? You know what I mean? Because it's like, you want to say, hey, like, I'm not cool with this, but then you also have these workers saying like, hey, like, don't necessarily boycott, because like, I would like to have this job. Like, I want a place to work.
Yeah.
And it's just tough. It's just the culture of CEOs being the most important thing in the world, and investors being the most important thing in the world, when it's like, okay, well, what are you investing in? The work of people. And I don't know, it's just like a greater problem of how we don't see the invisible people who do all the work
Yeah.
as contributors to things. and it's just frustrating. It just sucks.
Well, and
And honestly, like, disgraceful of these companies. But I
well,
mean, these companies don't have any shame, so
the issue that I think Activision and Blizzard have run into in gaming lately is like they don't make fun games, you know, like, and they blame it on their employees for not making fun games when in
yep.
reality it trickles down. Like you guys, all the CEO and the investors care about is squeezing every last dime they can out of us gamers. Like,
Yeah, and like the
well, my
pitch is, wow, this is really trendy. Let's make something cool
yep,
out of it. And then like the games get really bogged down by like these incredibly like invasive transactions that like become a core part of the game, and like, because of like contracts and shit, like the devs can't do anything. It's
yeah.
more so like, hey, we have to have this in the game because we signed contracts. We have to like have these microtransactions in the game, and you're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, see, like, and like,
And
they don't want to make a fun game like Palworld. You know what I mean? Like, they don't think of, hey, let's just make a game that's fun to play. Like, they always start with, okay, what can we make that we can shove microtransactions and all that kind of stuff into, and skin collabs and all that sort of stuff like Fortnite do. When in reality, Fortnite built itself off from being a great game into like what it is now, obviously. But I feel like those kind of CEOs and investors don't really think about, games like Power World where, it's just fun and that's why people are buying it, and people aren't buying it
yeah,
because, oh, now I'm refining refined ingots. Oh, I bought $20 worth of these crystals, so now I don't need my pals to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and I feel like
exactly.
that's what Activision and Blizzard and all these other game companies would do. I mean, even Riot, I think, had some layoffs this week as well. It's a tough time for the industry, but I think it all starts from the CEOs and the investors not knowing what gamers want. They have no idea, and that's why I'm
And
very,
not
very,
really
very happy with.
caring.
Yeah, they don't care.
Like they don't really see consumers as consumers. They just see it as like, okay, how do we make money off of these consumers? And
Yeah,
it really just like eventually becomes, okay, how do we open their wallets? As simple as I could put it. Like that's it's just it's tough time. It's tough time when you have one of the fastest growing industries, one of the biggest entertainment sectors, just being like eternally ungrateful to the people who have made that sector as big as it was. Like it wasn't the big investors that made it huge. It was the people who were making the games that really
yeah. Who had a
spoke
passion
to
for
people.
games and like
Yeah.
a passion for game development and a passion for people just having fun playing their game. Instead now it's very predatory ideas of how
And it's
we can
all
squeeze every
business.
money out of these gamers.
People are scared of AI, like games being completely made. Like it's already happening and it's been happening. It's called random ass CEO Joe Nobodies who were like, man, like we should like put all these games together and make like this stupid ass game. And then you have like Ubisoft's like past like 8 games. You can't tell me that Ubisoft's past 8 games aren't the equivalent of what like an AI bot would pitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we're already getting like these soulless. How much, what's the profit margin these games can make if we make it? It's if you're scared of like AI changing the game, it's like it's really not going to. As much as I don't want AI to be a thing, it's the experience we get from these CEOs like doing pitches, doing like like the board of directors being like, "Hey, like look at these cool games that we could make that can make money,"
yeah,
trickling down to the design leads being like, "Okay, we're going to make this because this is a good idea that will make money. How do I design this game to be maximum profit?" Like it's already happening. We already basically have AI bots in positions of power doing this shit. So it's going to be more the same, just more often, and it sucks. It
yeah,
sucks. But then, like, every once in a while you have like games that really like change the way we see, what games can be. And sometimes that's what it takes to get these stupid idiots at the top to see
yeah,
that games are more than just big buck generators, that they're the reason they make all this money is because people fall in love with with the way this game makes people feel. So
Mhm.
goofy.
Uh, real quick before we switch on over to Q&A, a game that has been, I don't know, god damn, I feel like this was a game announced before COVID, like way before COVID. Ubisoft's Skull and Bones. I actually got an email yesterday.
Yeah, I don't believe that game's real.
Gets an open beta.
Cap.
Now, hey, I got a code for mine
Cap.
yesterday.
Yeah, that game's not
Yeah.
real. That's an AI game.
Skull and Bones will have an open beta, and it'll run from February 8th to 11th, and I will be there no matter what. I will be there for
I
that
don't
car
believe it.
crash.
I
I will
don't
be there
believe
for
it,
that car
man.
crash. That car.
I don't believe it.
I have to be there for that car crash because I know Mr. Fruit will be there for that car crash.
I don't believe it, man. I just don't believe it. I hope it's
Uh,
good, but I
oh,
don't
it's
believe
not
it.
gonna be. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna be like one of those day tomorrow games or whatever. I forgot what it was called. Got a good amount of Q&A. Anything else you want to touch on, Blue?
That's it. Let's get to this Q&A.
Hyper Lethal says favorite Assassin's Creed game. Assassin's
Woo.
Creed 3, where it's like the Civil War one.
I think my favorite is definitely Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
See, that's the one I never played. That came after like 3, right?
No,
Or did it
that came after 2.
into before 3?
And it was I think it was like a big improvement on 2 in every way for me personally. So
I did love
yeah,
2 as well. Like when you could build like your little town or whatever with upgrades and stuff. I thought
and
that was really
they
cool.
and they really expanded on that in Brotherhood. So I yeah,
Brotherhood
no,
had a sick trailer too for
yeah, no,
like
Brotherhood. I think Brotherhood's definitely my favorite.
Just Flash says earbuds or headphones outside of gaming that you like for music. I mean, I have these like for when I'm like flying and stuff. The I just ripped out my headphones. Give me a second. Uh-oh. This is why my chair sucks. I have these Sony WH1000 XM5s or something. I think they're just called the Sony XM5s if you're ever like looking for a technical name, but these I still have the box over there for some reason. I just don't carry these like that. I just have the box next to me.
I've definitely graduated to earbuds for everything. Um, I forgot. Um, I forgot which ones I have right now. Hold on.
I will
Hold
say, Raycon did send some earbuds, and those were great for the price. You can't beat it, for real.
on.
They
Yeah, I
have
mean,
sponsored the podcast before.
shout out to Raycon. Let me look it up real quick. Don't hey, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Okay. So I've actually graduated and I love these. It's the VR P10 Soundcore gaming earbuds. They
Oh,
are low latency. They are Meta officially branded because they're the official, I guess, um earbuds for the MetaQuest, their VR
mm-hmm.
thing. Um I love these things. I really want more low latency earbuds, not Bluetooth. Stop with the Bluetooth shit. Um, and gaming oriented
Yeah.
earbuds.
So you're
For
wired. Those are
me,
wired earbuds.
no, they're wireless.
Oh, okay.
So I've graduated to wireless earbuds because I like headphones are just so heavy
True.
and
That's why I got Sennheisers. They're not as
they're
heavy.
just they're just so heavy, they're just so big, they're just so bulky, and I just want something that I can like pull in and out if I need to go do something. I want to be able to go to the bathroom and hear my homies while I'm pissing, like and in a compact, lightweight thing. And so yeah, I use earbuds for everything now. What I really want that we don't really have, it's only Apple doing, and we need more of them, is the earphones, the true earphones that like don't go into your ear. We're talking like AirPods, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That lay in your ear, but like they don't have, like the guards going into your ear because those are so comfortable and I can wear them all the time.
Yeah.
And we don't have enough of those. We don't have enough of those earphones, true earphones, and I would kill for gaming earphones, AirPod style, that that are low latency and just work. And yeah,
Yeah.
we need more earphones, dude. Get on it, please. I beg. That being said, I do love my earbuds so far. So
Unknown source says, "Do you have any TV show hot takes?" I'll start off with mine by saying I don't get the praise for Breaking Bad. I watched it through the entire series, and it was pretty boring until the last few seasons, and the expectation of the couple episodes here and there. TV show hot takes. Okay, I have one. Love on the Spectrum on Netflix is the best dating show I have ever seen ever. If you have not watched Love on the Spectrum on Netflix and you are like into like love shows and like dating shows and all that, there is no better show that does that better than Love on the Spectrum. It is the best, most wholesome, most amazing show ever. I'll give you a little synopsis on it. It basically follows people that are on the autism spectrum and how they go through relationships and go through dating and go through trying to find a partner that may or may not also be on the spectrum. And it is genuinely one of the most wholesome, amazing shows that just makes you feel like a good, like just good. It makes you feel good and gives you hope
yeah.
and stuff. So I would say that. That's the one I can think of the fastest.
Well, it's come that time of the month where someone asks, "What's your hot take regarding entertainment?"
Yeah.
And my answer is always the same. The Legend of Korra is better than Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now
It's always
look,
that.
season 2, yeah, we don't got to talk about season 2, but let's not pretend Avatar: The Last Airbender had good pacing the first couple seasons. I see you
Hey,
guys.
speaking of
Look,
Last Airbender, bro, you see that Netflix
the
trailer?
TV, yes, the bending looks really good.
It looks sick.
I'm still hurt eternally by the live action Avatar, so I'm like, very
You're
like
cautious?
tempered.
Yeah,
But I
naturally.
hope it's good, and I hope Netflix doesn't fuck this up. I am a little worried because Team Avatar, the people who make
Yeah.
the shows and the comics, they kind of were like, I don't kind of dipping out pretty early on, so I'm a little worried, but it looks good. Like
Hey,
it
this
looks
might
good so far.
might mean we
So
get a. If this goes well, might mean we get a live action Korra. You never know.
doubt that. People have really railed it in that they hate Korra, even though Korra's better than Avatar: The Last Bender. But we'll see how it goes.
Uh, Kara says, with House of the Dragon season 2 coming out this summer, mega hype. Who is y'all's favorite character from the first season?
Ooh, that's a good question.
For those that don't
Hmm.
know, House of the Dragons is a prequel. Not, I mean, it's a prequel in the Game of Thrones world. To just kind of how the Targaryen family, this just follows them. God. I don't know his name, but the guy who lost an eye and rides the very big dragon. He seems like a little asshole, but
Oh,
like,
Amond,
yeah, he
total
seems tight.
dickhead, but
Yeah,
he's a
total
great
dickhead, but
character.
like a
Total
good,
dickhead.
yeah, like I love him.
My favorite is probably Daemon Targaryen. He's just so
Damon's cool.
likable.
Yeah,
He's just so likable. And
and Matt Smith is just the
unfortunately,
man.
yeah, he's also a piece of shit.
Everyone in that show's a piece of shit. Like if
That's
you're
kind of the
watching that show
point.
to
The
find like,
inbreeding,
yeah,
he's charismatic, but I mean, like, if you like someone in the show, like, you're gonna be like, yeah, I like them, but yes, they are not a good person. So,
yeah.
but yeah.
Lumberlord says instantly become. Oh, would you rather instantly become an expert at a single instrument of your choice, or instantly be able to speak a language of your choice? Oof.
Okay, hold on, run that back one more time.
W-
What was the first half?
Instantly become an expert at a single instrument of your choice, or instantly be able to speak a language
Oh,
of your choice. That's
fuck.
really hard, actually, because I would love to speak Spanish, obviously, fluently. Unfortunately, I have fallen off my Duolingo shit. I was doing it for about a week and then I fell off because I'm so bad at Spanish. I'm so stupid. Um, Probably language. Probably being able to speak Spanish instantly. I would love to learn how to play a piano and be able to play the piano, but I think I would rather learn how to speak Spanish.
I think I would say language. I can already speak Spanish, but I can't like speak it fluently, and I would love to be able to just
That's the one you'd
on
pick?
site. Yeah,
Interesting.
I
Uh,
would love to be able to like. I think with time and effort, I would be able to do it, but like to take all the effort out of it and just do it, that sounds nice.
Halcyonics says, would you rather have it rain for a month straight or snow for a month straight?
Terrain.
Yeah, probably rain, because then it's not cold. Like, sure,
This
I might have to
snow
deal
is
with
not
flooding and
fun.
shit.
Snow is not fun, man.
Yeah, like, I don't. Yeah, I've had to deal with some flooding before down here, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, just snow sucks. I hate snow. Mark Say says favorite Power World design. I think we've already kind of touched on that. Mies says, hey guys, hope you guys are both doing well and life is sweet for both of you. Azul, are you hyped for Genesis 10? And will you be watching even though Steve is not banned for this major? Really? They didn't
Uh,
ban him?
nah. The Steve bands are still like a
It's a
early
niche
wave of.
thing.
Yeah, it's still not everyone's doing it, and most aren't doing it. So it's just still the ball is rolling, but people are still not quite ready to do like ban him outright. So which I understand, but yes, I'm definitely gonna be watching. I'm really excited. Uh if it turns into a Steve clone, then I'll do what I always do, and I just kind of tune out slowly. So,
You'll have Power World on one monitor and
yep,
Steve Mirror in the other.
yep, that's right. That's the plan.
Stredrin asks, are there any changes or additions you'd like to see in Power World for a future update? We'll just choose one quickly. I think they've already talked pathing and AI and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
that's the biggest one.
I saw this idea. You know how that tree's in the middle of like,
Yes, I saw that. Like
yeah,
the
like the expansions would be like a new like on
a
the
new
top
map
right of
in
the,
different quadrants. Yeah,
yeah, I think that'd be sick. I think
that
that would be
would
really cool.
that would actually make me bust a sloppy ass load. Sorry for my language, but yeah, that shit would make me burst.
Yeah, that's it would be sick.
Yeah. As far as additions go, I mean, I would just like fixes to the current game. Yeah, AI pathing is the biggest thing. Better like stability when it comes to like online multiplayer, because I think with co-op it's actually really solid. But yeah, like online, it's a tough world out there. So those are my two biggest things: is online stability and AI pathing. I think
Yeah.
are the two things that need to get fixed early for me.
Slippy Fist says, who is better Avatar animal guide, Appa or Naga? And which would you rather have? Which one is Naga? Is that the little flying dude?
Um, that's the
The little flying
motherfucking
monkey?
fucking oh my god. No, Naga is the polar bear dog
I don't know what
from
that is.
Korra.
Let me see. Oh, I want that. That thing is, I mean, but like a flying bison is kind of fucking sick too. Like flying is always kind of OP.
I mean, I think it's like pros and cons. Like as far as land animal, yeah, I want Naga. If I'm trying to like AC 130, flying bison baby, like easy.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna go with Appa just because flying is a little OP. But I do love the design of this little polar bear dog thing. Last question here from Pete says, "Hello guys, what do you think are the chances of Nintendo taking down Power World with their recent statement saying they are looking into it?" I mean, the chances of that dude whoever made the mod that was
Oh
like,
yeah, he's going down quick.
yeah, that guy is going down so fast. It doesn't even matter if you took it down. It was up for however long it was, and you're fucked. I figured someone would try and do that and would get the books thrown at them just so Pokemon made sure no one would do it again. But like logistically, like Pokemon maybe like has a case with like three or five that like genuinely I think would have some sort of intellectual property type of thing. behind them, but I think it's very low because if Pokemon did that, it would just give Palworld even that much more publicity and show that Palworld is getting to Pokemon. So I think it would probably be out of the best interest of Pokemon to just let that stuff kind of slide.
I think they don't really have the best case. Some mons definitely they have are very much like, okay, like these are definitely like suit worthy mons. But for the most part, like most of the game is not Pokemon. Like most of the game is not even remotely a monster catcher. Like 20% is catching and leveling, and that 20% is great. Like it's amazing. It's really fun. Um, but most of the game is survival. Like most of